Hello, everyone, and good morning. Today is Sunday, May 26th, 2025, or excuse me, May 25th, 2025, at 10:10. And today we have our day one outlook to look at today. So, our day one outlook is basically like what we looked at yesterday. We've got parts of Texas and Oklahoma having an enhanced risk. We've got parts of New Mexico going through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, a little bit of Missouri, a little bit of Louisiana, even parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama having the slight risk. Marginal risk encompasses parts of Texas going through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, back through Tennessee, a little bit of Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and parts of Colorado and back through New Mexico. So yes, we do have a pretty busy day here for severe weather today. So we have Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Norman, Wichita Falls, and Lawton under the enhanced. Dallas, Memphis, Fort Worth, Tulsa, and Arlington under slight. And Jacksonville, Denver, Atlanta, Miami, and Colorado Springs under a marginal. So let's go ahead and see what we've got for today's risks. Today we have a 5% tornado risk for parts of Texas and Oklahoma, and we do have a 2% that extends from just a little bit of Colorado through a little bit of New Mexico, through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, and just a teeny bit of Georgia there having the marginal, 2%. So we have Lubbock, Wichita Falls, Lawton, Duncan, and Plainview under the 5%, and Dallas, Memphis, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa under the 2%. So I will say for the 5%, we could see a brief EF1, maybe an EF2 tornado if it does become strong enough. And for the 2%, we could just see a brief EF0, maybe a EF1 tornado possible if it does become strong. So that's the tornado threat for today. Going to the damaging wind threat, we've got a 30% hatch for parts of Texas and Oklahoma, but we do have a small area of the normal 30% for parts of Oklahoma. We do also have a 15% hatch for parts of Texas, but it's normal 15% hatch for everybody else, extending from New Mexico through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, a little bit of Louisiana, a little bit of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, having the normal 15%, and then we got the normal 5% that extends from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, going through Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and then back through Colorado and New Mexico. So we do have those states under the wind risk for today. We have Lubbock, Abilene, Wichita Falls, Lawton, and Big Spring under the significant severe. Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Norman, Wichita Falls, and Lawton under the 30%. Dallas, Memphis, Fort Worth, Tulsa, and Arlington under the 15%. And Jacksonville, Denver, Atlanta, Miami, and Colorado Springs under the 5%. So let's go ahead. Let's see. So 30% hatched, you could see damaging wind gusts of 70 to 80 miles per hour possible, maybe even 85 miles per hour possible. So please be mindful that could be possible for you. Normal 30%, I would say 60 to 80 miles per hour possible for that area today. Same for the 15% hatched area, just this little hatched area here. 60 to 80 miles per hour possible could happen in the hatched area for the 15%. But for the normal 15%, it would pretty much would be 60 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts possible. And then for the 5%, we got 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So depending on where you are, please be mindful you do have a hail threat today. Or wind threat today, excuse me, not a hail threat. We're getting into the hail threat right now. So today, we have a 30% hatched for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We've got a 15% hatched for parts of New Mexico going through Texas and Oklahoma. Normal 15% extending from a little bit of Texas through Oklahoma, through a little bit of Arkansas, Missouri, And then Mississippi, a little bit of Alabama, and a little bit of Tennessee having the normal 15%, as well as parts of New Mexico having the normal 15% as well. Then we have the 5% that extends from Texas through Louisiana, through Louisiana, Missouri. And there's the reset. Okay, where are we? Okay, 5% extending from Texas through a little bit of Arkansas. Yeah, okay, so there is a little, just a tiny little bit of Oklahoma having the 5%. Also having Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, back through Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, and back through Colorado, back through New Mexico. So we do have those areas under a 5%. So we have Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Abilene, Norman, and Wichita Falls under the significant severe. Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Norman, Wichita Falls, and Lawton under the 30%. Memphis, Fort Worth, Tulsa, Arlington, and Plano under the 15%. And Dallas, Jacksonville, Denver, Atlanta, and Miami having the 5%. So for the 30% hatched, we could see a good 2 to 4.5 inch diameter hail possible. So please be mindful that could be a possibility. 15% hatched for the little hatched areas. We could see 1 to 3.5 inch hail possible. So please be mindful that could be a possibility. 15% normal, we could see 1 to 3 inch diameter hail possible. And for the 5%, we could see 1 to 2 inch diameter hail possible. So please be mindful that could be a possibility today. Going into the summary for today, severe thunderstorms, including the risk for very large hail, swaths of severe winds with isolated 75+ mile per hour wind gusts. Yep, figured that. And a few tornadoes are expected across parts of the southern plains this afternoon and evening. Scattered severe thunderstorms with large hail and damaging winds will also be a concern across the lower Mississippi Valley into the deep south. So there you have it. I do really hope that you stay weather aware and stay safe today. There's today's hail risk. There's today's wind risk. There's today's tornado risk. And there's today's day 1 outlook. So I do really hope that you stay weather aware and stay safe. May not be available for the day 2 outlook right away, but I still plan to be here for the day 2 outlook video. Excuse me, it just may not come out until later. Sorry about that. My allergies are just now starting, so at least we're at the end of the video. But anyway, I do really hope you stay weather aware and stay safe. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.